How you guys doing?
Good.
What's happening? I'm very good. Very good. What's going on? Oh, nothing. Just trade deadline and trying to get Canada back going. Get the fans back in there. What do you mean? Oh, trying to get fans back in the arena. I think looking at it from just like a positive, I think standpoint, it's I think things are trending the right way here, and just listening to health experts speak, we're hoping that things can get back hopefully to normal soon.
You've spoken to the provincial government about their capacity limits in the next month or so, when they might be used, and have given you any kind of...
We've had conversations, and MLS is in conversations. I've had also high-level conversations, but with these things, I think there's a lot of studies, there's a lot of unknown, and I think they try to take their time, I think, to do the right things, but I think the way it's trending, I'm hoping that maybe we can get back sooner than the proposed date.
Do you think it's hurt your team's performance on the court to have to play all these games with no or very few fans?
Just like anything, you struggle for energy, you struggle just with on the overall. To me, the feel, this game is all about playing, winning, human interaction, and it's the biggest thing that I feel, sometimes lost where I know there are people that are going through more. There are people that need to come out more in terms of having the ability to open businesses and get back to real life. But this is the business I'm working, and I have to push as much as I can too for the business that we work in and the game that we play. And I think the team has done incredibly well in this position. We've had a couple tough years, but we're not complaining. This game is about winning, and I think these guys have showed it, that the coaching staff, the players, the whole organization has shown that we have resilience, and we'll continue to play and be professional and put winning first, because that's what this game is about, and hopefully we get back to normal.
Do you think your team is further ahead today than where you thought it might be, and how will that affect the last few months of the season?
Well, I think when I sat down, and I know Bobby, everybody, we've talked about this, is the growth of the team, and the opportunity we're going to give the young team to play. And I think we can all agree that there's been good growth, and that's what we wanted. We had a tough year. The Tampa tank happened by, it's the opportunity that was put in, the situation that we were put in the last couple of years. So, but I think we can all agree here and say that Pascal has grown as a player, Fred has grown as a player, OG has grown as a player, Boucher has grown as a player, Precious, we can go down the line, like all of them, Scotty Barnes, I think we can see growth. We are excited, I know, about our players, and hopefully they continue to grow and continue to play like they've been playing. And this game is about winning. So even in last year, our thoughts and our minds is all about winning. Yeah, how do you win a championship is the end game of all of this, and hopefully we get there.
How much did the last couple of weeks and the way that this team has played change the way that you guys approach the deadline yesterday, if at all? If the deadline was a month ago, do you think you guys would have looked at it?
Same thing. In my opinion, I think the only thing that sometimes adjusts is the pick that we have, our pick, and obviously that's improved, but you never know kind of where that goes. But the mindset, I think, stays the same. And the mindset is giving these guys the opportunity to grow, and I think bringing in a player like Thaddeus Young, we wanted a veteran type player, a bird rights type player that came and bridged, helping our young guys both in the locker room and on the court. And we looked at different scenarios, but you guys know I'm not too big on the trade deadline. We have this little toy guns to our heads at 3:00, and you have to make decisions then. That's our jobs, yes. But to me, overall planning on how you build a team is done in the summer training camp, all the things you want to work in our way to build a team that's sustainable and that can win.
Just a follow-up to Doug's earlier question about standpoint. Obviously, there's been a lot of legitimate concern that if this were to continue the way that it's going to continue, that maybe there is conversation of the team possibly moving. Did you hear that at your level, where people had a conversation with you at that point? And what the conversation?
The conversations is we are never going anywhere. We're staying here. We're not playing anywhere else but Toronto. And I say that firmly and sternly, that this is where we're going to play. And our fans will be back, and we will be back rocking in our building. I think we were one of the highest approval teams in terms of fans and support and attendance to the games, atmosphere. We love that. This is where we are. We're not experiencing Tampa again. We love Tampa, but we're not doing that again.
Last year, one of your quotes was, "Play in for a while."
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all.
I said that?
And I think maybe everybody understood that team was going to be broken up. It didn't really matter. But with this team, is it different? Is it significant that this group learns to play in the playoffs, and if you get in a plan, that's a plus?
100%. I just didn't think it made sense last year. Yes, it totally didn't make sense for us. And that's completely like why I said that. This year, and I know I said that. I was joking. I know I said that. Yeah, it's not. To me, you play the game to win. Even I said, even in a year like the Tampa year, the overall goal is winning. You have to think about the game like that. And I think the development of these players tell us that there's growth and they want to win. And who are we? Who are we to stop them from doing that? You put them in the situation to play, and whatever position they find themselves competing at the highest level, which is the NBA, at the highest level, which is all these great teams they compete against. That's what they want to. That's what we want to do. We want to win. This game is about winning.
You mentioned, like the growth of young guys on the team. So if you do have a roadmap of like that, are you ahead of schedule, or where are you in schedule?
Yeah, all I see is the development of these players. I don't know if it's a measurement of time and when it happens, and all we look at is how these players are developing, and are they getting better? And I think I know I sit here a lot and you guys think I'm BSing, but I know that we can all agree that these guys are growing and they're getting better. We can point to every single player, almost every single player on our roster, and we can say that they are growing and getting better at playing basketball, competing in a tough league like we play.
With the age differences of the players in your floor, you guys 27, 28, OG 24, 25, Gary is younger. Do you think there is a window? You talked about wanting to build a championship.
There's no window, Eric. When we start,
is is there a time in which everybody can be, if not peaking, contributing together to create a contender?
Well, if I look at the template of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, like they started at 27 or 20, around that time, right? Yeah, so who am I to say that Pascal or Fred can get better? Yeah, which is really like, I don't know, is that where your question is going, Yeah, I'm saying, you're saying that where do they reach their peak? Like that's what you're talking about. And then the younger players are 21, Barnes and OG. Hey, that's the composition of our team. Yeah, and that's, for me, you have to mix in these players. I feel strongly that Fred, Pascal, these guys can get better. They're going to get even better than they are now. I said this when we talked about this before. And I think Fred making the All-Star it tells me that he got better. I think Pascal is having an All-Star year. I think OG, if he doesn't miss how many games from injury, just like Pascal, he'll be in all those conversations too. Incredible dynamic player. Scotty Barnes, I think they're all getting better, and this is just the composition of our team. Do we have to be at a championship level where all of them are 27 years old, 28 years old, peaking, and now we reach the championship and this is what we're doing? I wish, I could look at it and tell you, that's the way it happens all the time. It's not that way.
You talk about how you're kind of constantly measuring development and watching these guys from, you're obviously tremendous amount of responsibility in your position, but do you ever find yourself just kind of being not more of a fan, but just proud of the way these guys have been fighting all season long and just enjoying the game you love?
I'm super proud of them, and I have like the best seat in the house now. It's the only seat in the house. I do have some guests, that come to see me once in a while, but I think for me, like watching these guys, watching what these guys have done, what Nick Nurse has done, the coaching staff have done, what our medical team are doing, just the organization overall. The players have been incredible. There's been no complaints. Not one day have they come to me and said, when are we getting fans back, or when is this happening, or where? It's about winning. They talk about the game and how we can get better. The leadership of Fred, Pascal, OG, and how they are bringing this team together. The young guys, the spirit, we go through the tough times with the rookies and the young players on the team. They fight through it. I'm sure, it's like that with other teams, but I'm so proud of these guys because I'm telling you the adversity that these guys have gone through and what they go through. There's 29 other teams here playing with fans, we're not. And every day I know I'm the leader of this team. I feel bad about that, but I cannot come here and continue to complain about it, because there are other people that are going through tougher times than us. I do believe in the science. I do believe in that this thing is going to get better and it will head in the right direction. And hopefully we miss our fans, even though I like the seat I have right now.
Bobby was saying, it looks like Scotty is growing and developing week by week. From your standpoint, what you think of what's your thoughts on him, considering that it was kind of a controversial
I smile. He's everything that we wanted. Honestly, basketball, the spirit of the kid, incredible. I think if I'm right, Scotty has closed every game that we've played in this season, started every game that we've played this season. Maybe there's one or two. That's growth for a rookie to come in, that maturity, the sense of the game, the basketball IQ. It can only get better.
Have you seen anything like that? If someone's so ready to kind of take on these types of responsibilities, to kind of grow creative parents?
No, not other teams. Yes, I'm sure there have been players that have done it, but in terms of teams that I've been on, I think Carmelo was incredible. But I didn't manage the team then. but he was incredible that his rookie year. But yeah, in terms of me, I think this is the highest level that I've seen.
To go back to Eric's question about this core, in the next few years, contract situation, some of these guys are coming up. Is this a group that you think you can build together for a long period of time? And Bobby was telling us that taking on long-term contracts is something you guys were careful about. Was part of that to maintain the ability to keep this core together long term?
Yes, it is. But the game is it's so fluid, and you never know what's going to happen. Like 2-3 years from now, I could say one thing here and it changes. Like the next day. That's just how we saw yesterday, how these things happen in our league. But our goal is to stay the course with these guys and keep growing and keep building as the best possible way we can, give them the opportunity to play. And I think Nick has done an incredible job with them.
The Big East is so tight right now. How much do you think the landscape of the conference changed yesterday with all the moves, and where do you see your guys fitting into that mix?
Every day we sway. One day West is better than the East, East is better than the West, and these things just change all the time, and sometimes we're even trying to change, the structure of the playoffs and all, because one conference is so heavy and the next other conference is this, and there's historic, it changes every day, every season, and you can't control that, especially with the trade deadline. And I think Adam has done an incredible job, with creating parity in the league now, somewhat. And I think it gives everybody a chance, a hope. I think the play-in tournament actually does that too, where a lot of teams give themselves good hope, to go and perform in the playoffs, or give yourselves a chance.
You constructed a roster that's rather unique and maybe the vanguard of the way the NBA is going, with like 7 guys who 6'9" and threat. How conscious were you of what that risk would be, and how do you feel the reward has been by building that team like that?
I think it's all a joint effort of our team, of front office coaches. We talked about this with Nick, talked about this with Bobby, on the style of play and how we want to the type of athletes and players we want to bring. Listen, we're in a copycat league. Everybody wants to do what another person is doing. Go play like Golden State, or go play. Well, we don't have those type of players, it's hard to find those type of players, so for me, we have to create ways where we think we're going to win in this league, because it's about winning. And I feel strongly, that we can create our own style of play and bring these type of players and figure out a way to do it. Look, will it succeed? I pray it does. I'm hoping it does, and I think it will.
To go back to the pandemic question and fans in arena, how much is that hurting the organization in terms of money's not coming in the way it was before? And is that you going to your bosses and saying, I need some money, and it'll come back because of how well this organization plays? Or are you getting help from the NBA to help ease the disadvantage you guys are at?
I think it's been talked about in different ways to keep up. That's why we have a league, and I think the league is meant to look out in terms of the teams and what they are going through. The league has been very supportive in what we did, but comes down to ownership. Larry Tannenbaum and our owners have been incredibly supportive here in what we're trying to do. And yes, it is losing money. We're playing with no fans every game, but we have to continue. This is our jobs. We're professionals. Our players understand that, and our hope is that we beat this pandemic and we move forward and recover. We're very confident of who our organization is. That's why we can't wait to get our fans back. We know that building will be full right away. We can't wait to get our atmosphere back. We know the culture of this place and what it means. And that's why you see these players and these coaches go play and coach their hearts out every single day.
How is your-
Junior talked about just how welcome he felt when he came here. And obviously he was given some direction when he met with Nick over the summer. What did you see from him potentially last trade deadline when you had made that trade into what could be and what he is being right now?
I think he's a dynamic player. You know, he's got great scoring abilities. He's got a great shooting hand, shooting touch. And one of the things we talked about and challenged him was defending. You know, our teams, Nick is a defensive coach too, and he really teaches our defense in a different way. And he was very open-minded to that, and we saw some of that last year, and it was a difficult year to evaluate the players in some ways, but it's something I think give our staff, give the coaches really a lot of credit there, because we paid attention to like individual players in different ways, you know, like, so if you remember, there were times when we tried to play Pascal in the point guard position last year, and everybody was like, okay, what are they doing? You know, like, and play Fred sometimes off the ball. And it looked a little odd. Yeah, it did look odd because it's those games seemed sometimes like they were meaningless. They were not meaningless to us. Yeah, we have to evaluate these players. Sometimes it was OG playing in different positions and doing different things. Yeah, honestly, that's intentional. Yeah, that's intentional for us to do this. Even these guys, I know people talk about them playing a lot of minutes. Yes, they have been playing a lot of minutes. Some of it, you know, like, is to put them in those situations, because what's a playoff situation going to be eventually when these guys play, whether it's this year, next year, it's going to be like that. It's them playing in heavy situations. We have to learn these things. They are young players that have to learn these particular situations. Yeah, so we've tried to like, at least in our conscious minds, you know, like evaluate these players this way.
So I want to ask you about Pascal. You know him better than anybody in this room, and he went through a tough time the last year and a half, basically. At what point did you know? I mean, a lot of people had to wait to see until December to see him back on the court, and then they were convinced he was back. At what point did you know you were getting back the Pascal Siakam that you knew? I
think I knew last year at the end of last season. Yeah, for sure. The focus on his mind, you know, was.
Going into the surgery then?
Yes, yes. I think that last few games of last season, you could see that, you know, he began to feel himself, you know, like his body started to get right. And I'm really proud of what Pascal has done. It's incredible, you know, like, but now, even just as a player, as a person, the way he sees it, the maturity is incredible. I feel bad that, you know, he missed those games in the beginning of the season and didn't have that runway, because there's nobody that knows the game, that looks at this game and could tell you that Pascal is not an all-star this year. He is an all-star.
You mentioned the minutes, so I didn't have to bring it up out of nowhere.
I didn't say bring it up again.
I'll bring it up again. I don't feel as bad. We asked Nick about it, or I asked Nick about it over the other day.
He said stop asking him, by the way.
This is why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
How do you measure wanting to put them in that situation for precisely the reason you said, and consulting with your medical staff and making sure the load isn't too great? Because I know that's something your organization has done.
Yes, we do both, you know, like we really consult with Alex and his team, and yes, it's something that's tough on every side, and I think there's good measurement. I think Nick listens, and we were also in a tough situation at that point in time, you know, like when those players were playing heavy minutes, and I think we knew, or we were hoping, that it's going to get better with more players that would, you know, have a dip and will come back and play into form again. And hopefully the minutes start to spread out a little bit, but that concentration on them playing like that, that's what the playoffs is going to be in some ways, especially them learning to play with each other.
Masai, looking at the style of basketball season, the roster with only 6, 9 guys, and will be such an important team. Where does that leave someone like Malachi?
I don't think it makes a difference, like you're going to need those kind of players. And I know sometimes Malachi has struggled, but we truly believe that Malachi is going to get back the form that he's had. I think he was Rookie of the Month end of last year, and sometimes it's been the way we play, and sometimes it's just the minute crunch with the coaches. But I think Malachi will get back, and we're very confident in his abilities.
Masai, I remember, when there was the introductory press conference with Nurse, you said you wanted a coach that was thinking of where the game was going, not being where it is. In terms of the way this team plays, how happy are you to come make this run and executing that?
Mad scientist. All I can say, that's what he does. Every day he's thinking, he lives, he sleeps, he drinks the game, always thinking of all the things that hopefully can give you an edge and to win. And patient, great staff that he has. I have to give that to the staff too, like that help him put all of this together. And but Nick is great, and he sees it big picture.
So a bit of a different line of questioning, but I think we're going to 2 years since you named John Wiggins the lead. To find out what kind of impact has he had on the team and you since practicing.
Incredible impact, and is really good. It's great to see somebody actually be an expert of this and pay attention to this, because there's so much nuances to it that I don't even know, and so many things to explore, whether it's partnerships, whether it's community work, everything that you can even, you can actually think of, helping marginalized the BIPOC community is a priority for us. And I know it's a priority for John Wiggins in even working with other leagues, other teams, other communities, other businesses, other organizations. And every day he's wearing me out with all kinds of things on the table, and it's really hard to keep up, but the opportunities are endless. And I am so happy that we have somebody working particularly on this. He's beginning to build his staff, and hired a few people, which I think is incredible for us to continue to explore and give people opportunity.
So we have a couple of questions for you online. So Phil, do you want to go ahead with virtual questions, please?
Will do. Thanks, Jen. We're going to start with Ryan from the Toronto Sun.
Hey, Masai, how you doing?
Hi, Ryan.
Just a quick one on, I know you said you don't really like the trade deadline that much. I'm just curious, with the play-in since its introduction, I know it hasn't been long, but is it more challenging to make deals as a buyer, especially now, because more teams think they're in the mix, whereas in the past, they'd maybe know that they were out of it more and be more willing to sell? Have you noticed anything yet, or is it too soon to really say?
I think so. I think we all noticed that lots of teams trying to get better, and I think that was the short answer is that's the goal for the league, to create parity and to give everybody a sense of hope of playing, and take away the word that I said before that we don't want to say.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll go to Amit from Yahoo Sports Canada.
Masai, thanks so much for your time today. Just want to ask you about this. Is in between the big ball, small roster, I guess, that you've created so far this year, hiring Nick Nurse, the family atmosphere that you've created within the Raptors organization, do you in some ways relish the opportunity to kind of put your own stamp on what the Raptors organization will be and just try and be a little bit different from other organizations?
It's not necessarily I don't see it as my stamp, it's all of us working together, and this includes fans, this includes you, this includes everybody here, I think it's the mentality that we've always had, and the mentality is we can win here. And I think everybody has that mentality that we have. That's why you see the team plays with so much passion, so much energy, and the will to win every day to get better. Our organization is just generally like that from top to bottom, and our city is like that. Our fans are like that, and we love that. And we're going to be like that all the time, every single time, even if we're rebuilding, whatever we're going through. So it's not necessarily like my stamp. I have the great opportunity of being happening to lead this, but yeah, all of us feel that way in this organization from top to bottom.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. We'll go to Adam from the Daily Hive.
Hey, Masai. I'm wondering about sort of your relationship with your veteran players, more specifically Pascal and Fred. And I'm just wondering about the sort of development of a personal relationship there, and sort of the types of things you talk about, when you do have discussions with them. When you say you're talking about winning, sort of, can you give me just a insight into their mindset about that and how you guys, sort of deal with each other on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I've always been close to them, close to all our players. They know the best possible way that you can do it. Those two are OG, very special, like, because they lead in different ways, like Fred was one of those guys you guys know, like that is great thinker, great leader, tough, and so our conversations vary from so many things, but I love him as a leader, and he's growing as a leader, and so is Pascal. Maturity. These guys are 27 years old, and there's plenty basketball life, everything ahead of them. And in some ways it's our job, in some ways it's my job, like to steer them, hopefully in the right way.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Adam. Two more for you, Masai. We'll start with Oren from Complex Canada.
Hey, Masai, thanks for taking the time. I wanted to ask you about the Thaddeus Young acquisition, and how much of that acquisition, you spoke a little bit to it, but how much of this acquisition was about the off-court fit, the locker room impact he can have as a veteran in this league, and what kind of qualities or experiences does he bring to the team that maybe can add to the leadership group that you just spoke about?
Yeah, it's exactly that. I think on the court, off the court, an athlete that can still play, still does the things that I think are very important to how we play and our organization. And the leadership of the court I think is significant, because Thaddeus brings so much energy, good spirit. I think he'll help the young players. I've known him for a long time, and I'm happy that we finally got him here.
And then on that same note, does the Thaddeus acquisition affect the off-season plans at all, especially in regards to Chris Boucher? Now they're both expiring contracts, playing similar positions. I'm just wondering if it's affecting how you're going to approach this offseason at all.
Yeah, it's what we're talking about here. I'm not sure of playing same positions, like everybody plays the same position with this style, like, so there's no fight for position. That was one of the reasons we created it this way, so everybody plays, and I think, it doesn't affect our thinking with Chris Boucher. You can see his growth. You can see his mentality, and we love the progress that Chris Boucher has made, and this has nothing to do with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much, Oren. I'll wrap up with Savannah from NBA TV Canada.
Hi, Masai. In the greater picture of things in terms of development, you have guys like Isaac Bonga, Delano Banton, David Johnson developing very, very well, Justin Champagnie, of course. How do you balance their development in the 905, because they're having a tremendous season down there, but also get them in the fold with the Toronto Raptors organization as well?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we're trying to figure out, what the mix is going to be, and we have lots of young players. That's the thing with having like a young team. We also have lots of young NBA players on our main roster, and sometimes I know it takes away from the development of these guys, but it'll come, I think we have patience in this organization. We've shown that it's something that we take pride in doing, and the chances will come with these guys, and we really value what they do. We see Champagne, DJ, Bonga, all these guys are talented guys, that we feel have a chance.
Thank you.
So I understand we have a few follow-ups in here, if you're okay with that.
No problem. Tell me.
I was wondering if you could give, or what are your thoughts on how the Goran Dragic situation played out, and if you provide extra details on what happened along the way that led you up to that episode?
Yeah, I think with Goran, I feel that where we were as an organization, I think at the end of the day, I think Goran was looking for a contending team that would contend in a championship. But Goran came in here, and I think he was a great professional and did everything, like we asked, and really exceeded every expectations we have first as a person, and then Goran had a personal situation, that I can't elaborate on, and we respected that, and on our part, we wanted to develop our young players, and I think Goran also respected that, and so. When those things, came together, I think, unfortunately, he had a situation he had to deal with. And up till yesterday, we were in touch with Goran, and a difficult situation a little bit, but I know he acted in the best professional way that we can. And hopefully we tried to give him, the best support that we could.
Thank you.
All good, everybody?
Unless if you don't mind, I know you said you're not big on the trade deadline, but there are a couple of times where big opportunities have presented themselves and you told them to act on it. I'm just curious, that journey from 2013 to 14, the championship, how has that informed you on when to strike and when to just stay patient?
I think it's instinctive. You have to stick to the plan and whatever you're doing with your team, and whatever the goal is, you measure. I think the trade deadline is I think it's one of the most incredible times, you can have in sports, because it creates so much opportunity that you are not even expecting. Yeah, and that's the challenge of it, right? We sit down here and different deals are coming in, and you have a time crunch, and but sometimes they favor you, sometimes you negotiate and it doesn't happen. We talk about a million deals, and maybe one happens, and this is just the way it is. For me, it's just staying focused, and how you respond when some of these things you want to happen don't happen, or these deals that come about that maybe sometimes they don't go through. And I think our organization will always have a plan and will always be ready for those situations. And if it doesn't go away, well, we're fine with it. You keep going. I still am not. I'm not. I think there's only 2 players that have changed the course of a trade deadline in a big way to win a championship, and we were lucky to have one of them in Marc Gasol.
So when you look at what's happened last year and this year, situation here, has it kind of set you guys back a little bit from how perception is around the league?
I don't think so. It's a great question. For me, these things happen in our league, and there are things that are forgotten like this. And that's just life now. We're living in real time, right, and real time speed. And so. Yeah. Do I really remember Tampa? No. It's gone. It's done. You move on. I'm not going to stay here and cry over spilled milk. Yeah, am I remembering that I sit down alone, like in the court? Yeah, because I'll do it tomorrow, like, and do I do it tomorrow? Kind of. So yeah, Grange, like it's our job to lift it up. Yeah, that's my job. Like we have to continue to be in the forefront. And I know it's not something that's going to last forever. Right? We will figure out this situation and hopefully we'll get our fans back. Sports is in an incredible place. Look at where the Leafs are. For me, I feel, sometimes I feel selfish, like in talking about like where I think this should be. I want fans back. I want us to, like to get back to who we are as people, life, Toronto, diversity, where we are, our fans, everything. I love it, and it will get back there. But we as leaders, we cannot be scared. Yeah, and that's why I think Adam Silver has done an incredible job, because in the last 2 years, he's made tough decisions, like to keep this league going and keep this league in a good place that keeps all of us like working in some kind of way. And here we are with an exciting league, and who are we to complain or say, like this doesn't favor us or this doesn't, this not going. Our job is to win. You play this game to win, and I'm telling you, we will win.
Sorry, just one more. When you're discussing taking the job in terms of re-signing your contract, et cetera, you really make some comments about how you wanted the league to kind of recognize the challenges being the one Canadian franchise was, and putting some pressure or expectations on ownership to kind of do that kind of stuff. I mean, were there ever any benchmarks made? Is there anything you can suggest that there has been some progress? Or?
Yes, they are. There were benchmarks made, and there's ongoing discussions all the time. Like the league has to pay attention to us. Like where it's challenging sometimes, but this is where they find themselves. We are the only team in the NBA that doesn't, that's not in the United States, and so whether it's borders or different things that like have to be considered, rules, regulations. Yeah, there's plenty of things, but. And I'm going to challenge those things. I'm going to talk about those things. And yes, they are on the table. But we also have huge advantages here, and that's what I concentrate on, like to lift and to get bigger with. Can I go into details? No. But can I tell you that, yes, I discuss this, fight this, talk about this every day? Yes. This is not for me, if ESPN are not showing games here because they're not getting, like the eyeballs or the deals or whatever they are, however it works for them. Yeah, I have to build a team here. Yeah, we have to build a team that wins here. And that's, to me, that's no reason for us to sit down and cry or cry over spilled milk. We've won here and we're going to win again. I truly, truly believe that. And I truly believe that's why I stayed here, is that this is one of the best places, one of the best teams in the NBA. And to me, a top city in the NBA.